Young child on the phone, distracted. But anyway, what it do? What it do?
What's good, everybody?
We back, baby. NFL Week 1 coming. It's time.
Hey, man, it's been a very long time coming, man. But No Hedging Podcast is back. I go by the name of Rip16, the GOAT.
And I am Ty, the Fly Jet.
And we are the mighty No Hedging Podcast duo, and we are back for the NFL Week 1 season, baby.
Oh, it's exciting, man.
It's been a long time coming, man. You know, we got football back in full effect. We got fantasy football. We got props. We're going to try
Gambling is back.
Ain't it, though? We're going to try and wrap all of that up in here, you know, and give you all a nice segue into the beginning of the season. Let you know your do's, don'ts, your wills, your won'ts, if you will.
Mm-hmm.
And yeah, man, we got a lot of new exciting things. We bringing fantasy football back. I'm gonna try to have that link in the description for y'all. We finalizing that fantasy football. So, you know, if any of y'all interested in joining in with your guys and doing a little fantasy football, we got our league starting back up. We're gonna have a paid league, nice little cash prize.
As it should be.
So we're gonna have that. Link's gonna be in the description. Y'all tap in. We also got some new exciting things, man. I got some offers lined up with Props Made Easy. You know what I'm saying? So we can start get you a little assistance on your props. You know what I'm saying? It's a lot of statistics. It's a lot of analysis. What's a good line? What's a bad line? It's hard to kind of figure it out, but Props Made Easy makes it a little bit easier. So, you know, we got some links for that also. Y'all tap in with us. But we're going to try to make y'all some money overall, most importantly. And us some money.
Mm-hmm.
Just as important.
And just talking football, man.
And
just
then we love to
NFL.
talk football because it's back.
Yeah.
But make sure y'all like, share, comment, subscribe. Make sure y'all stay tuned for all of that. And we are going to get into, without further ado,
Back again.
the rundown.
Week 1 rundown, man. Let's get into it.
All right. So week 1, first game of the official 2024 NFL season, we have the Baltimore Ravens versus the Kansas City reigning champ Chiefs. The Chiefs are a 3-point favorite in this game at home on good old TNF. What say you, brother?
Yeah, so let me just go ahead and put this out here. Week 1 is always going to be the week of some good upsets because nobody knows what these teams are going to do. Nobody knows everybody's identity. They don't know their own identity.
They got out.
The defenses, I'm going to go ahead and put that out there. The defenses in the early part of the season are usually a little bit more ahead of the curve against the offenses. The offenses still have to put things together, still have to make some connections, still have to build relationships with players, quarterbacks, coaches, offensive coordinators.
A lot of rhythm, a lot of timing.
Yeah, a lot of rhythm, timing. The chemistry got to get built on the offensive side, the play calls, all of that. So with that being said, the Baltimore Ravens, you know, last year, one of the best defenses in the league. They did miss some pieces, got some pieces up out of there defensively.
McQueen, that was a big one.
Yeah, but nevertheless, it's the Ravens, right? They built on defense. They brought in Derrick Henry, a great acquisition.
For sure.
Lost against the Chiefs in the championship game last year.
Yes, they did.
Which was devastating because I believe they should have won it if they would have ran the ball a little bit more. And I think that's what they're going to do.
The ball.
I think that's what they're going to do against the Chiefs week 1. Game 1, revenge match. They're going to run the ball a little bit more. They try to put the ball in Lamar Jackson's hands and try to have like a shootout between him and Patrick Mahomes.
Not a good idea.
Which in reality, all they needed to do was put the ball on the ground and continue to run the ball. So I think the Ravens, they win. I think they upset the Chiefs on the road. I'm going to go ahead and take the Ravens as the underdog in this game, and I'm going to take them to beat the Chiefs in Kansas City.
Are we dog days already?
Yep, early.
Dog days are here?
Early.
First game?
Yep.
I'm inclined to agree with you, brother. Even though I will say this, the Chiefs' defense was also good.
Yeah.
Let's not sleep on that. The Chiefs' defense carried them for a large part of last season.
They got rid of my boy Snead, though. He gone.
They did get rid of Snead. I didn't understand it.
Money.
Yeah, but he was a huge part of that defense. They need to make that work. But they still got Chris Jones. They still got the other corner on the other side.
Trent McDuffie.
McDuffie was really
Slot,
good.
Yeah. Nickel.
So I think, the Chiefs defense is no slouch. I don't think this is going to be some type of real blowout game, but like my compadre here just said, you never really know at the beginning of the season. We're still learning what these teams are all about and what they can do. But I am inclined to go with the Ravens for the underdog play here on good old TNF. I just feel like the Ravens offense still has a lot of good pieces. They still got Lamar Jackson. Of course, they want revenge. I think they're just fed up and tired of being beat by the Chiefs.
Mm-hmm. Everybody else. There's
Plus,
a lot of teams on that list.
The Chiefs currently have, a little bit of a wide receiver core intact, but historically the Chiefs just start off bad.
Mm-hmm.
They historically start off bad. I don't see them really turning up until like week 6 or 7 or somewhere around there. And, that's when they typically get back on track. So, I think they're going to be like a 500 team for the first half. Maybe not half. Let's go 6 to 7 games in the season. They're going to be like a 500 team. So, me personally, I'm rolling with the Ravens on this one. I think they got a lot of firepower on offense. You're getting Zay, getting his second year in. He's going to step up. You got a healthy lineup coming back in. Lamar Jackson coming off an MVP season. It's a lot of factors, man. They can still run the ball
lost weight
well.
too.
He lost weight. He's going to be even more agile. Give me the Ravens in that one, man. Give me the Ravens. I know Patty going to come out trying to fire, but the Chiefs just start off bad every season. They still managed to get to a Super Bowl, but they start off bad, and I'm not expecting any different right now. So the next game we have on the slate, the NFL is trying to take over our week, slowly but surely. They have a Friday night game. The Green Bay Packers
In Brazil.
versus the Philadelphia Eagles in Brazil. The Eagles are a 2.5-point favorite in this one. The Eagles had a bit of a disappointing end to the season. Had some late injuries. Jalen Hurts just seemed off towards that latter third of the season, maybe I call it. So I think they want to come back with some vengeance, But, it's one of those international games. Have they ever played in Brazil before? I don't think so. It's the first time.
Mm-hmm.
Packers
neutral
did
field.
really good in the playoffs. As far as expectations, they damn near beat the 49ers.
Mm-hmm.
So I think it is 2.5-point favorites. How do you feel about the Eagles being a 2.5-point favorite in that one? What you expecting?
Yeah, I expect the Eagles to come back rejuvenated this season. They got new faces on the team. One
guy.
notable, Saquon Barkley. That wide receiver core is just getting stronger and stronger by the year. Seems like they're always adding to that core. They just brought in Jahan Dotson from Washington.
But are you okay, though?
I'm fine. Fuck it. It's the Eagles. He's better off there anyways. So I think Jalen Hurts. He's going to come back a little bit more rejuvenated. The energy in camp has been a whole lot better since the last we seen him on the field. So I think offensively, we know who the Eagles are. Defensively was where they struggled a little bit. So I'm curious to see what they do on the defensive side against Jordan Love. But I think, Jordan Love and that group is still a younger team. But I think roster to roster, I think the Eagles has a better roster, and I think they'll be able to take this dub. I think they'll cover the 2.5 for sure.
Okay.
I got the Eagles.
Let me ask you this. How do you feel about the Eagles and, their tush-push 1-yard play now that they don't have Jason Kelce out there under center? Do you think that changes, or you think they're still just as effective with that 1-yard rush, 1-2 yard?
I guess we'll see. I guess we'll see. I don't know. We'll see what the new center is going to be doing.
Okay.
You know, because Kelsey was the one to kind of make sure that play was successful.
Yeah, Jason Kelsey was a big deal.
But I'm sure he was in the building teaching whoever the next center is how to do it. So I think it'll still be effective.
Okay. I mean, I was just curious. I mean, I'm inclined to agree. I think it's such a dominant play. I think equally as important in that play is also going to be Jalen Hurts. You know, he still has a lot of leg strength. He still is a very strong quarterback when it comes to rushing the football. Mm-hmm. So with or without Jason Kelsey at center, I think Jalen Hurts is still a huge factor in that. But I think that offensive line generates a lot of push, a lot of energy up front. So even without Jason Kelsey, even though I think he is going to be missed for sure, I think, you know, it's still going to be effective. But I just want to know what others' outtake is on that. But for me, as far as the game goes, I'm inclined to go with the Eagles on this one. Again, going back to historically, the Eagles over the past few seasons have not really started off terrible. They usually come out energized. They usually come out strong. I think they had some time off by getting eliminated from the playoffs so early. Some guys had some time to recover. They had some big offseason pickups with Saquon Barkley that's just going to improve the offense even more, along with their star receivers that they have on both sides. Plus, the Packers, they don't have Aaron Jones anymore. I'm kind of interested to see how they do with the run game this season. Jordan Love took a huge step up, but I want to see what that run game can produce. So I kind of need some more time to develop. I'm with you. The Packers are kind of young. They need some more time to develop in my eyes. So I'm gonna roll with the Eagles to beat the Packers in Brazil. And I like them for the 2.5 on this one. I do like them for the 2.5. Travel game. It's gonna be an interesting game anyway. Those are always a little bit weird, but I do like the Eagles to take care of business in this one. And it's a Friday night game, so keep that in mind. The NFL is trying to take over your week. They got 4 days starting off on this first week, so just keep that in mind. Next game on the slate, very interesting one, quietly interesting game. We have the Arizona Cardinals versus the Buffalo Bills. The Bills are a 6-point favorite at home in this game. What say you about Bills Mafia versus the Arizona Cardinals? I know you have some interesting thoughts about the Cardinals this season based on what I saw in your division forecast. What do you say about these guys?
Yeah, I think this game, obviously we all know that the Bills, they kind of started clearing house, right? They don't want to call it a rebuild, but Bills Mafia, you're rebuilding, okay? You got rid of your number one receiver. You stopped showing him love towards the end of the season. You got Shakir that you're trying to replace him with. Saw that. You got Gabe Davis up out of there. Your whole entire defense, the secondary, they were older, got them up out of there. Dealt with a lot of injuries last year on the defensive side as well. So they say they're not rebuilding, but that's what it looked like. But we all know they still have Josh Allen, right? Josh Allen is arguably one of the top 3 quarterbacks in the league. Right. So I'm curious to see how this offense works without Stephon Diggs and with these new faces and et cetera. But on the flip side of that coin, you got the Arizona Cardinals, man. This team was one of the most grittiest teams last season, running the ball, physical. And this is without Kyler Murray for a good amount of the season. They had some good upsets during the season as well. They beat the Cowboys.
Very
right?
true.
They went on the road and start handling business, running the football.
Right.
So this is one of those gritty teams, especially now that you got a healthy Kyler Murray starting the season, been in training camp, OTAs, and also they drafted the best wide receiver or arguably the best player in the draft this year in Marvin Harrison Jr. So, you know, with that gritty run game, now you got a legit number wide receiver 1. I think 6 points is a lot, you know, to give Buffalo, especially with the Cardinals, how they've been playing, all gritty, running the ball, etc. I'm going to take the Cardinals to cover the spread of 6 points. Now, will they win? Not 100% sure. I would say it's a good underdog, but I'm going to just take the Cardinals plus the points.
Okay. I'm not mad at that. I think you brought up some very valid points. I think Marvin Harrison Jr. is going to fit in that offense very well. Kyler Murray with his scrambling ability, just being able to extend the play, causes a lot of havoc for a lot of defenses. Him being healthy, back at full capacity, having a new receiving weapon, having a good tight end. Also, their tight end stepped up for them a lot when they had DAWGS at quarterback. But ultimately, I think we're still trying to figure out who the Bills are.
Yeah. With
them reestablishing, who they are. They do have Josh Allen, who's not afraid to scramble. He's a big, strong quarterback, has a hellified arm. Keon Coleman being drafted is also not a slouch at wide receiver, so we're not going to neglect the fact that he could be a very good receiver for Josh Allen, which is one reason I'm not necessarily counting them out to lose this game, because they still have, some good tight end play. They still have a stud rookie wide receiver, and you still got Josh Allen. But I don't know what the new identity of this team is without Stephon Diggs and Gabe Davis. So I'm questioning them being able to beat them by 6.
Yeah.
I do like the Cardinals to go ahead and cover the spread in this one. But I'm not gonna count out the Bills from winning this game at home, because Bills Mafia is gonna be excited for game number 1. It's gonna be loud as hell. They're gonna be rowdy. And we're going to see, because the Cardinals have to, again, offensive timing. The Cardinals have to figure out how to work in those new pieces and get acclimated to real game speed on the road. So I'm going to go with the Cardinals to cover the spread on this one, but I'm not counting out the Bills to be able to win this game. I'm not quite there yet.
On the same page. Bills to win, Cardinals to cover.
Yeah, I think that's where we're at with it.
Yep.
Next game on the slate, we have our very first garbage bowl of the season. We have the Carolina Panthers versus the New Orleans Saints in a division matchup in week 1. The Saints are a 4.5-point favorite in this game versus the Panthers. I could pop it off. This is a home. Division. This is a home division. I can speak on this one.
Go ahead into the chat.
As much as I am not a huge fan of the Aints, they did have a couple interesting pickups. They still have Alvin Kamara. They still have Chris Olave. They still have a couple dynamic receivers. They got Derek Carr, who's a bit of a roller coaster, if we're being honest. But he's more experienced than Bryce Young, and I don't know who the hell Bryce is passing to. Who's his receivers?
Adam Thielen.
They got
a rookie out of South Carolina.
They got Xavier Legette, right?
Yeah, Legette.
Legette is looking DK Metcalfish out of college. We're gonna see how much that develops, but we gonna see. I mean, Adam Thielen got kind of neutralized a lot last season. I ain't gonna hold you. But the Panthers' defense was their saving grace in a lot of those games, and they did have a lot of close battles. So I'm not really feeling high on the -4.5 for the Saints just because it's a division game. And the Panthers' defense has been very good last season. Even with a trash offense, they still held a lot of those games to very close. So with that being said, I like the Carolina Panthers to cover 4.5 in this game. I don't like them to win because I don't know about offensively if they have enough put together and enough time together to really get there and do what they need to do to be able to beat the Saints. But I do like them to be able to cover.
No, I don't got nothing to say much about these guys. I mean, this is a game that
it's a garbage bowl though.
It is probably not worth watching. I mean, you got some good players on one side of the field.
I want to see what Legette does, though.
Yeah, you got some good players on the field, but I agree. I think the Saints win this game, especially being at home in the Superdome. 4.5. it's like you said, divisional game is kind of tight, but then I don't even trust the Carolina Panthers to cover sometimes. So because they did lose some pieces on defense, they lost Brian Burns to the Giants, so that's a pass rusher that they don't have
That's
anymore.
true. Big valid point.
So I'm gonna go ahead and take the Saints to win. I'll take the Saints to cover in this game. Nothing much more to be said about that.
Okay. I'm not mad at you. I'm not mad at you on that pick. I just don't trust the Aints that much. But next game on the slate, we have the Houston Texans versus the Indianapolis Colts. The Colts.
Matchup right there, division.
Yeah, the Texans are a 2.5-point favorite in another division matchup, AFC division matchup. Now, as far as this game goes, I'm gonna rock with the Houston Texans to cover the spread on this one with the 2.5 points. Even though the Colts are at home, they get Anthony Richardson back. Anthony Richardson did a lot of rushing before he got injured. I think he has to balance out that pass just a little bit. He can't be a running back at quarterback. They had a couple, like my boy Downs at wide receiver. They had a couple guys step up. They had a pretty good run attack last season with the Colts, I'm speaking on. And it is a division matchup. However, I think in the offseason, the Houston Texans just even got better as far as offense, getting a route running technician like Stephon Diggs out there. And then they got Joe Mixon in the mix, Sir Mix-a-Lot at running back. So I think they made some improvements on offense that was already good, a defense that was already good. Just continue to stay strong. Got Will Anderson coming out, second season, rookie defensive player of the year. CJ Stroud, offensive player of the year, rookie offensive player of the year. I think that dynamic is going to be strong. I think they make another playoff push and try to win the division again this year, as we spoke about in our division forecast. So I'm gonna go with the Texans to cover the 2.5 on the road here on week 1. It is upset weekend. It is a division game, but I think the Texans take care of business in this one.
Yeah, I agree with you. I'm going to agree. I'm going to go ahead and say Houston, go ahead and take the dub on this game. First one, week 1. This team got a lot more experience towards the end of the season. They made it to the playoffs, off season together, another year under their belt. It was a young team, still a young team. But like you mentioned, they brought on some new pieces. This Houston Texans team is one to be reckoned with for sure. When you got C.J. Stroud at the quarterback position, Anthony Richardson, he's coming back, but he missed a whole lot of games last year. So it's like, all right, and I saw
he only got a few games under his belt before he got injured.
Right, he did well for first couple passes on one drive, the next drive it was terrible. So. The inconsistency is still there. So I'm going to go ahead. I'm going to say to Houston, I'm going to agree with you. I think Houston goes ahead and take care of business on the road in Indy and get that dub. They cover the spread and get a good win here. I agree. C.J. Stroud, man, I think I'm going to go ahead and place a future ticket for C.J. Stroud for the MVP.
Really? Mm-hmm. MVP already? Elaborate. Tell me more.
Why he won Offensive Rookie of the Year? Why can't he be MVP?
I mean, you still got Lamar Jackson. You still got Patrick Mahomes. Yeah. You still got a lot of guys. Lamar did.
Okay. That's what I'm saying. Okay. So that doesn't mean he's going to win it again this year.
Dak Prescott was up there last year.
Did he win it? No.
He was in contention though.
Okay. So you don't think C.J. Stroud will be in contention for MVP?
Win though?
You talking about Dak Prescott and people who didn't win, so I'm just talking about...
I mean, I did mention Lamar Jackson. You think he going to outperform Lamar Jackson this season?
It's possible.
Okay.
It's possible.
Hey, listen, you was right last season about your MVP pick, so I'm not going to defecate on your statement there. I was just, curious to know what brought you to that. I mean, second year in the league.
You got another weapon over there?
He does have a hellified wide receiving core. I'm not gonna deny that. Man. Stephon Diggs, Nico Collins, Tank Dell, Dalton Schultz.
Don't sleep.
And a running back, Joe Mixon, who's one of those running backs who can pass and rush.
Don't sleep.
I'm not.
He's a good candidate.
It's a bold pick though. I'm not mad
bold.
at you.
He's a good candidate.
Okay.
CJ he's a top 10 quarterback.
Second year top 10 quarterback. All right.
Come on now.
I ain't mad at it.
Watching?
I did. I'm here with you, brother. All right. Next game on the slate, we have the Jacksonville Jaguars versus the Miami Dolphins. The Miami Dolphins are a 3.5 point favorite in this game. Dolphins at home versus Jacksonville. Me personally, give me the Dolphins. I like the track team at home in this one. I know it's a week of upsets. I know the Jacksonville Jaguars trying to get it back on track. And I do think the Jacksonville Jaguars play better this season than they did last season. I think it was more of an aberration. They got off track. Plus, they added in Gabe Davis down there. It's another wide receiver weapon. The Dolphins' defense was a bit up and down last season.
They got destroyed with injuries.
They got devastated with them injuries later on in the season.
Yep.
I think that was problematic for them down the home stretch. Yeah, especially on defense. On offense too, though, because Tyreek Hill got hurt. The Penguin had some injuries also later in the season. So they just got devastated with injuries. But Tua has dropped down in some weight also. You got Tyreek Hill back. I'm wondering if he's going to try and go after his 2,000 yards again. He got up there last season. He didn't get a chance to get to 2,000, but he got up there before that injury. So I'm going to go with the Dolphins in this one. And plus, I just don't know who the hell is going to cover Tyreek Hill. Like, I don't know what they're going to do with the track team. They may be able to generate something against that rush because they did get Danielle Hunter. But I don't know what they're going to do against that pass. So I'm going to go with the track team. Give me the Dolphins to cover that 3.5 at home.
Yeah, I'm going to agree with you. I'm going to take Miami at home, especially early on in the season. The weather is perfect for them. Two Florida teams. But nevertheless, I think the Dolphins offensively, I'm curious to see what Jacksonville does offensively, how they rebound this season. Trevor Lawrence last year seemed like he was a little banged up. He was nicked up or whatever. There's a lot of pressure on his ass right now. I mean, he got paid. He got paid, so it's time to perform. You know what I'm saying?
He damn sure got to perform.
You got to cash that check. So I'm curious to see, kind of how he comes back this season.
Sunshine.
Offensively, they got a lot of offensive weapons, a lot of pieces on the offense, which, not an issue there. But I am concerned on the defensive side of the ball, being able to handle not just Tyreek Hill, but Jalen Waddle. You got a lot of speed on the offensive side of the football. From
track
Miami.
Team, man. Them boys fast.
So, I think with all these weapons on the offensive side and all that speed on the offensive side of the football for Miami, I'm going to go ahead and take Miami to win and cover the 3.5.
Okay, I'm with you, brother. I'm with you. Now the next game on the slate. We have an interesting pick'em for you. We have the Minnesota Vikings on the road versus the New York Football Giants. The Vikings are a 1-point favorite, pretty much a pick'em. It's a pick'em. Very interesting squads going into this season. The Vikings, they got a healthy Justin Jefferson back towards the very, very tail end of the season. They're coming out with a new quarterback situation. The Giants coming back with the same old quarterback situation. They got a new stud rookie wide receiver. Yeah. Maybe he can save Daniel Jones' career. Between the rookie wide receiver and the beard, what say you?
I mean, the only thing I really like about the Giants right now is the defense. I think our defense is pretty good.
Yeah, Brian Burns. That was a good pickup.
On the defensive line.
And Dabo likes that defense, man.
The defensive line primarily. I think our secondary still needs a little bit of help. Justin Jefferson is going to have a day. As long as Sam Darnold gives Justin Jefferson the ball in his vicinity, he's going to have a day.
How much faith do we have in Sam Darnold at quarterback, though? Really?
The same amount as we have with Daniel Jones. Not much. So, Giants fans, Giants Nation, I'm wearing it too. I'm blue too. I bleed it. But, honestly, this is gonna be one of those games. It's a garbage bowl. It's like, all right, both of these teams are like, but I think I'm gonna give the edge to the Vikings, man. I'm gonna give the edge to the Vikings.
Really? You going with the opposing team on the road during week 1?
I'm giving the edge to the Vikings because with the Giants, man, I don't know what we got. We don't know what we got. We don't know how to use what we got. So, I'm going to take the Vikings, man.
What?
I'm taking the Vikings. I'm sorry.
That is crazy.
I'm sorry. Until the Giants prove that they can.
Nah, that's wild, bro.
On the offensive side of the football, I'm taking the Vikings.
So you don't think the Vikings have to prove that they're competent on the offensive side of the football after having Kirk Cousins for these past few years and not having Kirk Cousins out there no more?
It's not just the quarterback either. You know what I'm saying? It's the play callers, the offensive coordinator. It's that. You know what I'm saying? Kevin McConnell, I think, is a better play caller than Brian Dable.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying? So it didn't matter who was at quarterback last season. Justin Jefferson still got the football. You know what I'm saying? So
okay,
it don't matter who it was. It was, the dude that looked like
I got hellified. The dude that look like Caillou.
Look like Caillou.
Don't talk about DAWGS like that.
Yeah, DAWGS. It don't matter who it was. Justin Jefferson, he was still getting the rock, still wide open, still making plays. So I think it'll be a close game, but I think ultimately the Vikings win it. I mean, the Giants, we don't play well at home. It's the craziest thing. We don't play well at home. So I'm giving it to the Vikings, man.
Okay.
And they want to get back to us too because we beat them in the playoffs. So,
When was that? Some years ago?
Yeah, a couple years ago.
Yeah, we ain't thinking about years ago.
Mm-hmm.
But
time to play.
I'm gonna go devil's advocate on this one with you. I'm gonna go with your team. I actually think the Giants at home, given what they put up defensively,
prove me wrong, please,
improving on defense with Brian Burns. I don't have that much faith in Sam Darnold. I think Sam Darnold is still on NFL teams because he's probably a smart guy, nice guy, fits into a lot of systems. He has some intangibles and things where people look at on paper and be like, yeah, but I don't know how well it translates into actually winning the game. You do have a phenomenal Justin Jefferson, as we know. He's at the top of everybody's board on everybody's fantasy league. You also had a rookie wide receiver going into his second season that was able to step up and put up some really good numbers in the absence of Justin Jefferson when he had his hamstring injury. So, and also they have a good tight end. But the question is, how much time does Sam Darnold have to pass? And how good and effective is he going to be at making the right reads? The Giants' offense struggled, right? But the defense was still really good.
It was okay. It wasn't really good. It was okay.
Okay. It was okay. It was a middle of the pack defense. Mm-hmm. Okay, but I saw them in certain games make very good plays, be very stout, prevent teams from scoring. The offense just couldn't do shit with it when they gave them the ball. That was the problem. However, you adding in this new rookie wide receiver, you getting your starting quarterback healthy. I don't have a whole lot of faith in Daniel Jones, but you having that. Saquon Barkley's absence is going to be the hugest part of that.
No Saquon, no Dub.
But I'm feeling the Giants, man. I'm feeling the Giants at home for this one in this pick'em. Right now, I think both teams have to figure it out and get their shit together. But I'm feeling the Giants in this one, man. So I'm going to roll with the New York Football Giants to take the dub on this one. I do think it'll be a close game.
I'm telling you, this is one of those games where you're like, oh, they got to win this one. We're going to win it. And then you're like, damn, how y'all lose to the Vikings? At home. You're going to be feeling just like that. I promise you.
Maybe.
I hope you're wrong.
It's an upset week, though.
Yeah.
It's upset week. Next game on the slate, we have the New England Patriots versus the Cincinnati Bengals.
The Bengals.
The Bengals are back to being Bengals because they have Joe Burrow. Mm-hmm. The Bengals are a 9.5-point favorite, and they're getting the sports book love on this one.
Oh, they could. The sports.
This is the highest spread.
So Joe Burrow came back.
This is the highest spread of the week. Okay, the Bengals are a 9.5-point favorite at home. What say you?
Yeah, I'm gonna go ahead and start with the New England Patriots. New head coach, rookie quarterback Drake May, rookie head coach. They don't have a lot of offense. They don't have a lot of defense. Just got rid of Judon. This is a rebuild team right now.
For sure.
It's a rebuild team right now.
For sure.
So I can't put too much stock in the New England Patriots. I got to see something. I haven't seen anything, and I think the spread is correct. You got Joe Burrow coming back. He's coming back off an injury once again. But, same thing like you said with the Chiefs. Sometimes the Cincinnati Bengals, they start off a little slow in the beginning of their season and start to pick it up week 6, week 7.
Okay.
But in this spot, Joe Burrow with Jamar Chase, 9.5 points at home. Energy is going to be high. The New England Patriots, I don't see how they score enough points. I don't see how they score any points, really. I got to see Drake May in action.
Okay.
So I'm going to go ahead and take Joe Burrow and the Cincinnati Bengals to go ahead and win and cover at home. Easy win.
Win and
Easy
cover.
Win, yeah.
I'm inclined to agree with you. I have zero faith in the New England Patriots. They were at the bottom of the barrel last season, and unfortunately, after all those years of winning, I think they're still at the bottom of the barrel right now.
Yep.
For that reason, I'm going with the Bengals. Win, cover, do whatever you want them to do. Jamar Chase, they had a couple guys with all the injuries and stuff step up who made some impacts at wide receiver. I think they learned something about themselves. Their offensive line is still pretty good to protect Joe Burrow a little bit better. They made some improvements there. I think Joe Burrow being back fully healthy is just going to be too much. I don't know what to expect from the Patriots with Drake May and new offensive coordinator and all that.
New everything.
It's just new, and I think they need time to develop that to see what it's going to be, to see if it's even going to work. So I'm going to go with the Bengals on this one. Like I said, in my division forecast, I did not feel like the Patriots were going to be doing
much of anything
this season. If I'm not mistaken, I had them to go under on that 4.5 wins. I had them going about 3 games. So I'm going to stick beside what I said, and I said what I said. Give me the Bengals. Next game on the slate, we have an interesting one. Fix my shirt. Shout out to ATATF, man, for this Falcons Bar Simpson joint. ATL, ho. We have the Pittsburgh Steelers on the road versus the Atlanta RiseUp Falcons. The Falcons are a 3-point favorite at home. I'm going to pop it off and say that I think we earned that home favorite spot against Pittsburgh. I think the Pittsburgh Steelers are still trying to get it together. They got a quarterback situation. They saying Russell Wilson, but then they also got Justin Fields lingering around. They probably go with Russell, but we don't know how well he's going to perform.
At the time of this recording, they still haven't named the starter yet.
And with that being said, at the time of this recording, not naming the starter and it's being so close, and after preseason has happened and you still haven't named it, that just tell me you got a quarterback situation you're trying to figure out. And also the defense they got McQueen, which was an improvement for them. The
defense still going to be good.
The defense still going to do what it do.
Still going to be good.
But that Falcons offense, though.
They got a squad now.
But that Falcons offense, though, I expect Drake London to come out better playing with Kirk Cousins or possibly Michael Penix at some point. But I think Kirk Cousins being named the starter, they're for sure about that. They're going to start and see how healthy he plays. But I just think the Falcons had a top 10 defense last season, despite not even having an edge rusher. Getting Judon made them a lot better as far as generating pressure. You got Onyemata, you got Grady Jarrett, you got Judon. I like them 3 up front. You also got Ellis at linebacker. You can disguise some blitz, mix up some things. You can send Ellis in there. I like what they got going on defense. Plus, also adding in Simmons and Jesse Bates being a Pro Bowler. I like what we got going on in safety. They just re-signed AJ Terrell. The defense is still gonna be good. The offense stepped up. I like the addition of Darnell Mooney on offense. That was a good pickup for them. I like what they got going. quarterback, running back. Still got Bijan. I just think it's too much firepower on both sides of the ball. I think the Falcons are on track to have a very good season on paper. But we see. But I think them at home, give me the Falcons at home. -3 versus the Steelers. I like them.
Yeah, I'm going to go ahead and agree with you. I don't like taking the Falcons in the points, but I'm going to go ahead and take them. I think they win this game. I think they cover this game. Pittsburgh, them boys, they still trying to figure things out. Offensively last year, they were a mess. Looks like looks like the same thing this year. They are a mess. They don't know what the hell they're doing offensively. And guess who they got as their offensive coordinator? It's a Arthur Smith welcome home game. Former Atlanta Falcon head coach.
Welcome back, Art.
So I think Atlanta has a lot of juice right now. I think Atlanta, like you said, has a lot of pieces in place, in the right places, to do what they need to do this week against the Pittsburgh Steelers, to take care of business at home. The energy in that stadium is going to be insane. So
For sure.
I'm taking the Atlanta Falcons with you to win and cover versus the Steelers. Probably be a close game for the majority of the game, but I think the Falcons go ahead and close it out and finish at the end.
Well, I appreciate your vote of confidence, my brother.
Dirty Birds, you might get a few good plays from me this season. We'll see.
KO, appreciate you. Finally give me a shirt. Needed that, brother. Next game on the slate, we have the Tennessee Titans versus the Chicago Bears.
Down.
The Bears are a 4.5-point favorite at home. Let me pull some shades off real quick. You know what I'm saying? There's been a lot of talk about Caleb Williams. There's been a lot of changes over there at the Chicago Bears organization. Me personally, I think it was a lot of changes for the better. You know, you went and you had a very good draft by getting Caleb and also coming right back with a pickup and getting a phenomenal wide receiver. Who made some very good preseason plays. They seem to be creating and establishing a pretty good connection there. And then you also went and got Keenan Allen from my other beloved team, not San Diego, Los Angeles Chargers. I think the firepower that the Chicago Bears have on offense, paired with them having a pretty good defense last season, makes them very formidable, even though they are in a very tough division. I will say that I think versus the Titans, the Bears are my no-brainer pick in this game to win. 4.5 points, I still like it just because I don't know the Titans' identity this season as far as, especially offensively. You have Will Levis, but you lost your best offensive player, being Derrick Henry. So now you have to figure it out. What do you do? You know, as far as the offense, where do you go as a team? So I'm going to go with the Bears for that reason. I think they've established been rejuvenized, a lot of energy coming off of Hard Knocks. Hard Knocks is not necessarily the best thing for any team. But I do think the Bears win this game.
I agree. Better team on paper is going to be the better team on the field. Like you said, we don't know who the Tennessee Titans are. They got Will Levis as a quarterback. I mean, he had a couple decent games last season in the spots that he played.
Okay.
But, and that was only because of DeAndre Hopkins was there. But you get rid of Derrick Henry, it's like, what else you got? And then defensively, they weren't that good on the defensive side of the ball either, So
they got rid of their safety last season.
It's Kevin Byard. So, with the Chicago Bears roster, they got the better quarterback, better receivers, better players all around. I think they put it together, and they get the dub here at home. First home game for Caleb Williams, official NFL home game. I think they win. I think they cover, and they get the Tennessee Titans up out of there. So I'm taking the Chicago Bears on this one. Bear down.
Pack them boys up. Next game on the slate, we have
who?
Broncos country.
That's right.
Versus Seattle Seahawks. Mm-hmm. The Seahawks are a 6-point favorite in this game at home. What say you about the Legion of Doom versus Broncos country?
I'm going to say this.
Just getting into those 4 o'clock games on Sunday.
I'm going to say,
bruh, man.
I think the 6 points is a lot I think 6 points is a lot for Seattle to cover.
It is.
They are going to be at home. They do have the weaponry offensively. Geno Smith is still their quarterback. I don't think he's their long-term quarterback. They do have a new head coach, which is a defensive coordinator from the Ravens, which is interesting.
Ravens defense was hella good.
Ravens defense was really good. Now, I do think Seattle's going to win the game. Now, do they cover the 6 points? I'm not 100% sure. But they are facing a rookie quarterback in Bo Nix with the Denver Broncos. So, rookie quarterback.
He's an older rookie quarterback, though.
Yeah, he had a lot of reps. He's like 28.
That boy got a lot of reps.
But, rookie quarterback, first game playing in Seattle on the road. That's a tough spot for him as a rookie.
I don't think he's 28 for real.
I'm just kidding. But I'm going to go ahead and take the Seattle Seahawks to go ahead and win this game against the Broncos. But I wouldn't put it past the Broncos to throughout the season to progress and be a better team. So give me Seattle at home to go ahead and beat the Broncos, man.
Okay.
Go Hawks.
We in alignment.
Go Hawks.
We in alignment right now. It's early in the season. We're going to get into those records and whatnot because you was popping.
I won last year.
You was popping shit last year. It's all right. You was popping shit for real, but I don't inherit the beef. Give me the Seattle Seahawks to win this game. I'm kind of with you as far as the point spread, but I'm a little bit on the fence about that because of the simple fact of they did lose Simmons to the Falcons on defense. The Broncos did. That safety play. You got a rookie quarterback coming in. You still got a Sean Payton, strong head coach. The Seahawks, they have Geno Smith, who played fairly well, I'll say. He wasn't great last season, but he played fairly well. And he still got DK Metcalf. Jackson Smith and Jigba is coming in for his second season. What's my boy, number 16, Lockett,
Tyler.
On the other side. I think it's some offensive firepower there. I think they had a decent run game when they were healthy.
Hell yeah. Defense is good. Witherspoon, yeah.
I think it's a lot of formidable pieces for the Seattle Seahawks there, and especially them being at home. It's just hard to play in their stadium. So I'm gonna go with the Seahawks on this one. 6 points I do feel like is a lot, but I don't feel like the Broncos have a fuck ton of offensive firepower to be scoring a lot. So for that reason, I'm a little bit lenient towards Seattle to go ahead and take it and cover, even though I'm not 100% on them points.
Yeah,
I'm not 100%.
About 90.
Yeah.
About 90.
I'm good 90, high 80s. I'm winning there.
Yeah, I like that.
Yeah, so that's where I'm at with that one. Next game on the slate, we have the Las Vegas Raiders versus the Los Angeles Chargers. BoltUp. The Chargers are a 3.5-point favorite. It's been a while since we've seen some favorites since the spreads for the Chargers.
The recharged Chargers.
Recharged. Got Jim Harbaugh as coach. Thank God. No more Staley. I'm gonna pop it off, and I'm gonna say that the Los Angeles Chargers. Coming in with all those Ravens running backs, J.K. Dobbins having a top 5 quarterback in Justin Herbert. Not a whole lot in terms of wide receiver play, just because we lost Keenan Allen and Mike Williams. Even though Mike was always hurt, so did we ever really have him? I do think
And Austin
Eckler, no more Eck, but I think J.K. Dobbins, a couple of other Ravens running backs that they went and got, I think they generate enough of a rushing offense. And as we talked about before, Jim Harbaugh is going to try and run that ball. So, having some good running backs, having a refreshed and charged up running core, I think is good for them. I think it's a new look for the team coming out rejuvenated. So I like the Chargers' chances in week 1 at home. I do think the Raiders are good, in terms of having Antonio Pierce as the official head coach now. They still got Mad Max. They still got Devontae Adams, but they trying to figure it out with that quarterback thing.
Oh, it's already said. Gardner Minshew is a starter.
As he should be the starter. Yeah. You and I talked about that. Gardner Minshew should be the starter over Aiden O'Connell because of what he did with the Colts last season. However, he hadn't played with these guys. Really, not a whole lot. I mean, of course, they've been practicing off-season, all that good stuff, OTAs, yada, yada, yada. However, it's going to take some time to gel. And I just feel like I trust the Chargers a little bit more with what they have going on. And I think Harbaugh is going to be a good coach for the Chargers, a lot better than Staley. So I'm going to go with the Chargers at home in this one, man. BoltUp, man.
Well, au contraire, Cornfritter. I'm on the other side of that.
I don't like 3.5, though.
I'm not taking the Chargers in this game. I'm taking the Raiders in this game. I like the under in this game. I like the Raiders in this game. I like the Raiders to cover in this game. I think when they named Gardner Minshew the starter, that led me to be more comfortable with my
I like Minshew.
Gardner Minshew is a gritty quarterback. He's going to do whatever it takes to get the dub. More like, kind of reminds me of
coming from what he came from with the Colts.
Kind of reminds me of a Fitzpatrick in a way. Kind of Ryan Fitzpatrick. You know, he's one of those good backups that played on 13 teams out of all the teams, but he always had some starting. He always started at some point, so it was able to put up some numbers. I think with Gardner Minshew at the quarterback position, I don't think Devontae Adams is going to be as upset because I think he'll get his targets. I think he'll get some good balls thrown his way. A full offseason with Antonio Pierce as the head coach, OTAs, training camp, got these guys bought in. I think the Raiders win this game. Chargers, they don't really have any firepower offensively. It's like all they got is, running backs and run game. Like, what else is there? And this is the NFL, you got to run, you got to throw the ball. You know what I mean? So I think the Raiders take this win.
Shout out Lat McConkey from the Bulldogs.
Raiders.
Man.
I got the Raiders to win. I got the Raiders as a dog. I got the Raiders to cover. Give me the Raiders in this game.
I feel you, but I think you also leaving out the fact that the Chargers were fucking embarrassed by that 63-point bang that the Raiders put on them last season when Justin Herbert was out.
Matter.
And I think they want some get back. Plus the Raiders screwed up their playoff chances a couple seasons ago. It's just a lot of recent bad history with the Raiders. Give me the Chargers, man. They want some get back from these guys, and I think the time is now to get it. But that's just me. Mm-hmm. All right, man. Next game on the slate, we have the Dallas Cowboys versus the Cleveland Browns.
The underdog Dallas Cowboys.
The Cowboys are a 2.5-point underdog, meaning the Cleveland Browns are actually starting off the season a 2.5-point favorite.
Crazy.
Crazy. Almighty how the mighty have fallen. But it's gonna be a close game. Let's not act like Dallas ain't Dallas. But as I said last season made me more of a Cleveland Browns and Indianapolis Colts fan than I've ever been in my life. The Cleveland Browns are a 2.5-point favorite for a reason, and it's probably because of that defense. That defense was really fucking good. And also, they had some standouts. My boy at tight end, Njoku, had some very great games out there. They got Deshaun Watson stepping back in as starter. No more Flacco. They got Deshaun Watson.
Might as well keep Flacco there.
I mean, Flacco is not fucking bad. Flacco is really good. But
Deshaun ain't been good since Houston. That was 6 years ago.
Hey man, listen. But Flacco, not a quarterback. They got Deshaun Watson. The defense is still intact. Also, you get your running game back. Chuck.
Maybe.
Should be. I hope so. I just think they have. I think they have some weapons as far as on offense. Enough with Deshaun Watson coming in with a full offseason, time to get healthy, time to recover. Hopefully that's enough. He got Jameis Winston as his backup, so hopefully James Winston keep him calm and make him laugh or some shit. But I'm gonna go with the Browns in this game. I know they're the favorite because they're at home, probably because of their defense. The Dallas Cowboys, they do have a great shot at winning this game. I'm not gonna discredit them. I just feel like the Browns at home, given their defense, given I don't know how the Cowboys feel. They've had a lot of off-season drama. We're gonna see how they come out. With the whole CeeDee Lamb situation, Dak Prescott looking like this probably gonna be his last season.
CeeDee got paid. He fine.
CeeDee got paid, so he good now.
Yeah, good.
Well,
he in practice. He good.
Hey man, I guess so, man. He took a little time off, but CeeDee is a great receiver, so I mean he gonna do his thing. But that's a great defense he going against too. Mm-hmm. So we ain't just gonna act like he just gonna run over them like a slouch. But that's just me.
Yeah, it's gonna be I think it's gonna be a heavyweight fight for sure.
The boys gonna be slugging it out.
I'm gonna pick the side with the better quarterback, and that's gonna be the Dallas Cowboys, and that's not saying so much. But Deshaun Watson hasn't been good since before he came to Cleveland. It seems like the Cleveland Browns still have a virus at the quarterback room. So any quarterback it's just a revolving door. It just doesn't work. Overpaid Deshaun Watson and still haven't recouped or seen any progress.
Put my shades back on.
How do you overpay Deshaun Watson and your better side of the football is the defense?
I mean,
that's crazy. But that's none of my business. But for this game specifically, CeeDee Lamb got paid. You got Dak Prescott. I think he was in the running for MVP last year towards the end of the season in the conversation, not a running, but in the conversation. Mm-hmm. So I think
he was a top 3 to top 5 quarterback last season. I don't care what you say.
Let's not sleep on Dallas defense, right? You think Micah Parsons is gone and oblivious? No,
hell no.
He's playing well. He still got Trayvon Diggs is probably coming back off of injury in the secondary. So I'm gonna go ahead and take Dallas as the underdog. If you're gonna give me Dallas in this spot as an underdog, I'll take that.
It's a good week.
Yeah,
it's a good week, and that's a great dog. They won 10 games, 10, 11 games last season. That's a good dog. I'm not mad at it at all. I'm not discrediting the fact that they actually might win this game because Dallas is a good team. So I'm not gonna.
The Cowboys are pretty much the same team that they were last year. They didn't really do much. They got rid of Tony Pollard, but they didn't.
Tony Pollard didn't do shit anyway,
that's what I'm saying.
And that's my problem with the Cowboys. What did you do at running back? Y'all problem last season was you could not generate a rush. Mm-hmm. Tony Pollard didn't do a damn thing. He's not scaring nobody. Mm-hmm. I don't remember him having any phenomenal games last season. Mm-hmm. And they didn't generate a rush. Yes, you have a top 3 to top 5 receiver in CeeDee Lamb. Yes, Dak Prescott played his ass off last season. He was a top 3 to top 5 quarterback last season, statistically speaking. Yes, you limited some of the turnovers. I think he played a lot cleaner last season, and I think he cleaned up his mistakes. I think Dak earned some credit last season. However, with all that being said, you still got your ass thrashed in the playoffs when it came time to do something. Why? Because you one-dimensional as fuck.
Yeah.
I don't care how good you are. You can't be one-dimensional. You at least got to be a threat to run the ball. And I'm not scared of Ezekiel Elliott in year 36 of his career to be able to go out there and eat against a good-ass defense. I'm just not. That's just me. So, I mean, with that being said, I'm not that afraid.
Give me the Cowboys.
But, I mean, I get the pick. I get it. I do think they're capable of winning this game because they are good. I'm not saying they're sorry at all. I just don't like it. I don't love it. You had some shade in there. I was looking for a palm tree, and I had to put my shades back on because I was looking for a palm tree in the room when you threw some shade at Dak Prescott. But anyway, next game on the slate, we have the Washington Commanders versus the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. Very interesting game here, a little bit more interesting than I would expect on week 1. But the Washington Commanders coming in with their new quarterback, their new shiny rookie quarterback, new head coach. And the Tampa Bay Buccaneers coming off of a division-winning season, a playoff win over the Eagles. Some improvements from your quarterback. Being and also Mike Evans coming off of another consistent season. The Buccaneers are a 3.5 point favorite. What say you about this game?
I think 3.5 is a little bit much for Tampa Bay, in my opinion. Even though they're playing a rookie quarterback and a Jalen Daniels, I think Washington with the new head coach and Dan Quinn, I think Dan Quinn helps shore up that defense a little bit because that is why they brought him over there.
Yeah, the defense was
That is
ass.
why they hired him as the head coach because that defense was horrendous last year.
It was ass.
So they brought Dan Quinn to address that defense. I think with them addressing the defense, offensively, they have all the pieces that they need, Washington, to compete with Tampa. They got the rookie quarterback, obviously a rookie, young. You're going to throw that over all the rookie quarterbacks this year. But what I seen in the preseason with him and Scary Terry McLaurin, I think they got a nice little connection there where they're going to make some things happen. I think they go down there to Tampa. I don't think they win, but I do think they cover the 3.5. Give me the hook. I'm taking the hook.
So you like them by 3, them to lose by like 3.
Yeah.
Okay.
Or win.
I don't think they win this game. I'm going with Baker Mayfield, Mike Evans on this one to actually win this game. I think
I'm taking Tampa to win too.
I think Tampa Bay Buccaneers will be second in the division behind the Falcons. Defensively, they did pretty well last season. Offensively, they still have a lot of the pieces that made them work last season. And Baker Mayfield was a pretty solid quarterback. He was consistent. He didn't have these eye-popping, crazy, phenomenal numbers, but he was highly consistent last season. So for that reason, I'm gonna take the consistent quarterback, veteran quarterback, over the rookie and the new head coach being Dan Quinn. As a Falcons fan, you have to excuse me if my vote of confidence is not through the roof for Sir Dan Quinn. But I will say that I don't think it's a blowout game. But that Washington defense was really bad, man.
It was awful.
I mean, even if you have a better coordinator, I'm like, personnel-wise, what did you do to make them that much better to be able to really go out there and do something with the Buccaneers, who played pretty well? Could have been scheme. Could have been scheme. I don't know. They just look bad, man. I ain't like it. They're going to have to show me something before they get my confidence. I'm going to go with the Buccaneers. I don't love 3.5 points, but I don't love the Washington Commanders. So I'm gonna take the Buccaneers in this one, probably with the points too. Even though I don't love it, it's not my favorite, but I'm gonna go with the Buccaneers on this one. Next game on the slate, we have a phenomenally astronomical grudge match. And as we are waiting all day for Sunday night, we have the Los Angeles Rams versus the Detroit Lions. The Detroit Lions are a 3.5 point favorite at home, coming off one of their best seasons that I've ever seen in my whole fucking lifetime. The Detroit Lions are the favorite against the Los Angeles Rams, who put up an amazing football game against them in the playoffs. A big fight in their first playoff football game against Detroit at home. They're returning to that building. It was loud. It was rowdy. It was crazy. Stafford returning home against the team that drafted him. Goff against the team that drafted him. Last time we saw this, Detroit Lions prevailed in the playoffs because that stadium was fucking rocking. I'm inclined to go back with that, but I will say this. I do not love 3.5 at all in this game because that game was so tightly contested. I do feel like it's another setup for a field goal game. And the Los Angeles Rams have Puka Nacua, Cooper Kupp, Kyron Williams, Matthew Stafford, bringing back some of those guys on defense. Aaron Donald's done now. I think that makes a little bit. That makes a big difference.
Yeah. Huge difference.
Huge fucking difference. And for that reason, I'm gonna go with the Detroit Lions, just because I feel like the offensive firepower just a little bit edges them over the Rams in this game. But the Rams are gonna be very good this season.
Yeah, I'm gonna take the Rams to win this game. Revenge game. I think the Rams do what they need to do to get that win that they felt like they should have had in the playoffs last year. It wasn't like the Lions dominated them or destroyed them. But I think the Rams, they put it together. I think they win on the road. I think Stafford gets his W. Goff already has his. Stafford gets his W. Offensively, the Rams have everything they need. Defensively, that defense was young last year, and they started to get a little bit better towards the end of the season. I think this year they start building it up and get a little bit better. And I think they compete with the Detroit Lions. They was competing with them with the defense that they had last year, those young guys. So with one more year of experience, a little bit more, a little older, a little bit more wiser, I think they come out. This is the first game on their schedule. So this is what they've been looking at for the last 4 or 5 months. So I'm going to go ahead and take the Rams on the road. I'm going to take the Rams to win. I'm going to take the Rams to cover.
Okay. I mean, I think the Rams going to be good, too. I just feel like the Detroit Lions got better than they did last season. You know, my boy made some questionable calls out there at head coach. However, I will say they did improve on the defensive end. One thing I like about the Detroit Lions, they have steadily, over the past few years in the offseason, addressed their deficits. They knew the secondary was their biggest issue because they were very easy to be passed on last season. And they made some improvements in the secondary to help out with that. So for that reason, I'm going to stick with the Lions, but I'm not mad at you for saying the Rams because I do think the Rams are really fucking good. Next game and final game on the slate, we have good old MNF. Monday Night Football, first one of the season. We have the New York Jets, Jets, Jets versus the San Francisco 49ers. Whew. The 49ers are a 4-point favorite in this game against the returning Aaron Rodgers. Now, last time we seen him run out on the field with an American flag, he lost his fucking ankle about 3 minutes after he did that. So what say you?
I'm going to say this.
About the Jets.
We still need to see how well that offensive line for the New York Jets have improved. That's one thing that we need to be looking at is that offensive line for the Jets.
Okay.
Now, for Aaron Rodgers to come back to this game to play the San Francisco 49ers, that is not a favorable matchup for him right now.
No, it's not.
Not in this game. There's not going to be much movement of Aaron Rodgers. There's going to be much scrambling of Aaron Rodgers, fresh off of this injury. So I'm going to go ahead. I'm going to take the San Francisco 49ers. I think
he ain't really fresh off the injury, though. Yeah, I mean, they was talking about he might be ready in December.
Yeah,
but he wasn't.
That's
ready.
what they was
saying.
Yeah, they was just talking.
But he's had plenty of time to recover, though.
They was just talking. But I'm saying fresh off, meaning first game in the official game playing.
Okay.
You don't want it to be against the 49ers. Okay.
I agree with that.
You don't want it to
I
be
agree.
on the road against the 49ers.
I agree with that.
So I'm going to take the 49ers to win this game. I'm going to take them to win. I'm going to take them to cover. -4. That's just saying take the Jets +4. Take the Jets +4. But no, I'm going to take the 49ers to win. I'm going to take them to cover. Historically, over the past couple seasons, I've known, we all see, whenever the 49ers win, they dominate. And they win. So I'm taking the 49ers at home. I think Brock Purdy gets a little bit better this season. I think, they have some issues in the locker room with Brandon Ayuk, but I think they get that solidified and they work that out. If they do, they do great. If not, great. I still think
he got paid. He good.
Either way.
That's what you said about CD.
Yeah.
he got paid. He good.
Okay. Last I heard, they were trying to trade him. I don't know. I didn't check it out.
Yeah,
but
I don't think they did.
Nevertheless, I think offensively, the 49ers, as long as Debo's on that offense, Kittle's on that offense, and McCaffrey's on that offense, they're going to be a hard out.
They're going to be hard. Yeah.
Going to be a hard out. I don't care what defense you got over there. Jets defense is good, but
Brock Purdy coming into his third season.
Yeah. So give me the 49ers, man. Win, cover. I'm taking them. I got to see what Aaron Rodgers does. I need a couple more weeks.
I'm gonna need to see Aaron Rodgers get a little time to gel with his team more than anything, but not because I don't think he's capable. And I do think the Jets defense was very good last season with a shitty offense. So I'm gonna go with the San Francisco 49ers in this game. San Francisco is one of those teams where historically they haven't been one of those teams where you have to guess about them too much. When they're playing good, they normally play good. They normally start off strong. They come out healthy. They come out energized. They play well at home. They're very consistent in that aspect. Now, when they do lose, a lot of times it's because of injuries or something like that. That kind of throws a kink in the offense. I'm not the hugest fan of the 4-point spread, but I do think, like you said, when the San Francisco 49ers win, they win. So I'm not super afraid of the 4 points on that one. Give me the San Francisco 49ers against Aaron Rodgers. Just because they're at home, they're a good-ass team. They hated losing another Super Bowl, so I know they're going to come out fired up. So that's what I'm rolling with, man. And that's the full slate.
That's a rundown, baby.
Of week one. But as we always give to people, we got to know, what are your best bets out of everything that we just discussed here, brother?
Best bets. I'm going to take Philadelphia. I'll tell you now. Whew. -2.5.
Woo.
Over the Green Bay Packers in Brazil. I'm taking the Philadelphia Eagles -2.5.
Okay.
To win and cover.
Okay.
My next best bet would be the Chicago Bears -4.5 versus the Tennessee Titans.
I'm with you.
At home. Okay?
I'm with you on that. Okay.
And then my next best bet, I'm going to take the Miami Dolphins at home versus who they playing? They're playing the Jacksonville Jaguars -3.5. I'm taking the Dolphins.
Taking some of my fire away from me, brother.
So those are my three best bets right there.
Taking a little bit of my fire away from me, so I'm gonna mix it up a little bit.
Best bets, I'm taking the Bears, the Eagles, and the Dolphins. All points.
I like two of those a lot. One of them I gotta include that one into mine. I like that Chicago Bears over the Tennessee Titans to 4.5. I just don't think the Titans have enough going on to be able to really rock with them. I seen Caleb Williams make some connections with his rookie wide receiver coming out of the gate, making some difficult passes. Also having Keenan Allen, also having a good-ass tight end. I think that pushes me towards that Chicago 4.5. The next one I'm going to go with the Tampa Bay Buccaneers for 3.5 over the Washington Commanders. It's one of my best bets just because I feel like Washington, they have made some improvements. I'm not going to say they're improvements yet. They've made some changes around the building, and we have to see if they're improvements. And for that reason, I'm going to go with the Tampa Bay Buccaneers because I think they kind of established an identity last season of who they are. They know what they have to work with going into this season, and they have some very consistent players. And Mike Evans and Baker Mayfield was consistent throughout the entirety of the season, and they're just a tough team. They know that they're gritty. They know they like to fight. And also for the final one, you kind of took a little bit of wind out of my sails with that Eagles pick. I'm going to go ahead and go with the Houston Texans on the road. Mm-hmm. Houston Texans over the Colts just because I feel like Anthony Richardson is still trying to play running back. And they need him to play quarterback. His running back skills are good, but the Houston Texans defense is also very good. So for that reason, I'm going to roll with the Houston Texans on this one as my third best bet. So we have the Chicago Bears, the Tampa Bay Buccaneers, and the Houston Texans as my three best bets. Mm-hmm. But wait, there's more. The folks still got to know, what is your dog of the week?
Dog of the week.
Who's barking?
I think my dog of the week. I have a few, but I'm going to just put out one.
You name some. It's a good week for dogs.
It's a great week for dogs.
It's a great week for a dog.
I think my best dog of the week.
Don't do that bullshit you did last season by saying they're going to lose and then turn around and pick them for dog of the week. I know that shit you be on. Don't do it. Don't do it. I'm not doing this for another season.
I'm going to go ahead and take the Dallas Cowboys as my dog of the week. Last time I took them as my dog of the week, they fucked me. This time, don't fuck me, Dallas. I'm going to take you guys on the road versus Cleveland to win straight out, money line, win by 1 point. That's all. Dallas Cowboys, dog of the week.
Okay. I'm not mad at that. My dog of the week this time around, it's a little bit of a toss-up between
pick one.
Your team and the Ravens.
Pick one. My team isn't even a dog.
They are a dog. They so plus one.
So pick them.
I'm going to go with the Baltimore Ravens as my dog of the week. The Ravens are +3 in this game against the defending champ Kansas City Chiefs, but the Chiefs always start off shitty, man. They just always start off bad. I can't explain it. They just start off really bad every time. Last season, it was because they didn't have Chris Jones on defense. They struggled defensively a lot, and offensively, they were still trying to figure it out. They do have Rashee Rice. Xavier Worthy is really fast. However, I just think the Ravens' defense is still strong, and I think the offense got even better having Derrick Henry. The Chiefs' defense is still good, but I do think they fixed some of those game plan issues they had in the championship game coming into this week 1 Thursday night football matchup. I'm going to go with the Ravens as my dog of the week, man.
That's not bad. That's a good one. I like them too. I
appreciate it,
I already
brother.
plugged up.
Appreciate it, brother.
Plugged up 2 weeks ago.
Well, that's the whole slate, man. We gave you our dog of the week, gave you our best bets. We gave you everything you need to know going into week 1. It's a lot of good props out there. You know, y'all hop in those comment sections. Let me know if y'all want to chop it up about some props. I can throw in a little bit more than that in the mix. I'm looking at Tyreek Hill for some yardage props. Looking at a couple guys, Devontae Adams, maybe for some receiving catches props or receiving yards. I got to look at it and see what his line is going to be because I haven't plugged my props quite yet. But it's a lot of interesting props out there. Let me know in the comments what y'all want to know about. And, you know, I can run it back. Maybe do a props made easy video with y'all so y'all can see what we're looking at on the tool, get an idea. I'm thinking about running that so that y'all can get a feel for props made easy, how that works. But y'all, like, share, comment, subscribe. We back. Rip 16, Ty the Jet. And No Hedging Podcast is back for the football season, man. So all you got to do is get in with me. And we'll see y'all on the next one.
Let's go. We out. Young nigga say got a whole lot of money, ain't never seen a young nigga with it. I search up my flow.